After graduating from college, I broke up with my boyfriend. Little did I know, he would later become a top-tier film star. When an interviewer asked him if he had ever been in love, he didn't shy away from the question. Yes, in college. The reporter was taken aback and quickly followed up. So, what happened between you two? Sweetby fell silent for a moment, his eyes dimming. Just as the reporter was about to smooth things over, he finally spoke. She dumped me. The tone was filled with deep resentment. So, what was the reason for your breakup? The reporter seemed to have forgotten his task at hand, which was to ask other questions. She said, I'm type B blood, and she's also type B blood. She was afraid we'd give birth to a 2B. It was clear that Sweetby had gritted his teeth while saying this, his face dark and gloomy. The reporter wore an indescribable expression. I guessed he was about to burst out laughing the next second. Suddenly, the phone app crashed, and Weibo went down. Who is it? Who on earth is it? I want to know what kind of fairy actually dumped the movie Emperor Xia. God damn it, afraid of giving birth to a 2B. 2B, I'd sell everything I own just to support that face. Why does it seem like actor Xia is feeling a bit wronged? Wouldn't you feel wronged if you got dumped like that? You can tell that ex-sister-in-law has a bit of humor in her. For a moment, everyone was speculating about who it could be. What I never expected was that some people actually guessed it was me, simply because Sweetby and I attended the same university. I think it's Waku, they're at the same university, and most importantly, their looks are just so perfect for each other. My biggest regret in life is never having seen these two celestial beings in the same frame. However, it wasn't just Xia's fans. My own fans also jumped in to control the narrative. Sister, you shine on your own. They're not close, but thanks for the compliment about my sister. Investing in her won't disappoint you. Suddenly, a newly registered account's popularity skyrocketed like crazy. The account posted many photos of the popular rising star Liu Yuqin and Sweetby from their school days. In the photos, Liu Yuqin was almost always looking at Sweetby with affection, while Sweetby was always shown from behind, his expression unseen. Liu Yuqin smiled gently, as if gazing at her beloved. For a moment, netizens felt as if the truth had been revealed. Indeed, even the film emperor likes a gentle and beautiful fairy girl like our Qin Qin. Hey, upstairs, save it. Is she worthy? Get lost. I'm taking my brother away. Impossible, right? My brother has been in the industry for so long, and I've never seen them interact before. You just don't get it, do you? It's to avoid suspicion. There are always female celebrities trying to ride on the coattails of his popularity, but Sweetby's studio has always been quick to clarify any rumors. However, this time, there has been no response, leading many to believe that the relationship is indeed real. Even Sweetby's fans have lost some confidence in refuting the rumors. Could it be that my brother really likes that rising star? This demeanor, this appearance, they just don't match at all. However, soon after, Sweetby's studio issued a clarification, stating that they were unaware of the existence of these photos and hoped the original poster would delete them as soon as possible. Sweetby also posted on Weibo, don't know her. Those 3 short words completely wiped the smile off Liu Yuqin's face. Now, Xiafan also had the confidence to speak up. Clarifications may be late, but they never fail to arrive. I'm dying of laughter. She doesn't even know her at all. Another one trying to ride the coattails of fame. It's all because our brother is too outstanding. Every dog wants a taste of the good stuff. What are you being so sarcastic about upstairs? Our Qin Qin never said she liked Xia. Ebai, then why doesn't she clarify? The online arguments were raging, but I paid no attention to the outside noise, busy focusing on my career. I recently signed on for a travel variety show, and since I'd been dreaming of traveling the world, it was just what I wanted. There were 6 guests in total, and I couldn't help but frown when I saw Yuze approach me with familiarity to chat. I wasn't close to him at all. Yuze and I had collaborated on a drama where we played a couple, and our sweet interactions had earned us quite a few CP fans. However, my agent hadn't mentioned that I'd be promoting a CP on this variety show. It occurred to me that Yuze's career seemed to be in a bit of a slump lately, somewhat obscure, to put it mildly. He was probably hoping to ride the wave of this show to gain some popularity. If seeing Yuze made me uncomfortable, then the sight of Sweetby made me want to flee immediately. What kind of mess is this? Teacher Hua, long time no see. Sweetby had just arrived and greeted me with a polite smile. I looked at his outstretched hand and, not wanting to be outdone, I curled my lips slightly and gave his fingertips a light pinch. Long time no see. He just stood there next to me, making me feel all flustered. To be honest, I still felt a bit guilty about breaking up with him back then. Under the twilight sky, he stubbornly held my hand, his eyes filled with unwillingness and grievance. Do they know each other? Why do they seem so familiar with one another? Both have been in the industry for years, yet they've never collaborated on a single drama. Or did I miss something? Does Xiangdi's gaze seem a bit off? They went to the same university, so they might have known each other before, but they probably weren't close, clearly. Only this explanation sounds somewhat credible. I thought it would be a happy and relaxing experience, but unexpectedly, two weren't enough. Another one I didn't want to see showed up, Lu Yuqin, as expected. She's here for Xiaobai. I don't like Lu Yuqin, not because of Xiaobai, but because I don't like her as a person. Talking to her always feels hypocritical, insincere, and extremely uncomfortable. Sure enough, as expected, Lu Yuqin kept glancing in Xiaobai's direction from time to time. After greeting everyone else, she walked toward us, her eyes curved into a smile. She does have some charm. Teacher Xia, long time no see. Xiaobai gave a slight nod, responding politely, didn't they say they didn't know each other? So Xiaobai has two faces, huh, lol. When a dog comes running up to lick you, of course you just brush it off. The dog is innocent. For some reason, even though Xiaobai was behind me to the right and I couldn't see his face, I always felt his gaze lingering on me, whether intentionally or not. Hello, Teacher Hua. Lu Yuqin was still being quite polite for now. Could it be that I was unfairly judging her? Suddenly, the hand hanging by my side was lightly touched, the chill stimulating my nerves. I turned to find Xiaobai looking at his phone as if nothing had happened, probably just an accident. His hands are still like this, cold all year round, impossible to warm no matter how much you try. He always clings to me, asking me to hold his hand, saying it's cold. All 6 guests have arrived. We will take the flight at 8 a.m. tomorrow to Country F. For now, please rest on your own and have dinner. Friendly reminder. Tonight's dinner needs to be arranged by the guests themselves. I'll do it. I can cook. Yuze offered. Everyone expressed their thanks, but she also felt bad letting him do all the work alone, so Lu Yuqin quickly offered to help out. This little sister is actually quite proactive and considerate. Xiaobai remained quiet and didn't speak, which fit his aloof persona perfectly. I knew very well that he could no longer be like before, always having endless things to say, sharing his life and his everyday with me. I will never again taste the meals he cooked, the steaks he pan-fried, or the pork rib soup he simmered. Yuze prepared a whole table of dishes. His culinary skills weren't exactly masterful, but they had a homely feel. Xiaobai sat beside me, which surprised me a little. I thought he'd want to stay as far away from me as possible. Am I the only one who thinks the atmosphere between those two feels a bit off, even though you didn't specify which two? I think I know exactly which two you mean. Could it be that Xiangdi's first love is, I have a strong palate and can't enjoy a meal without spice, while Xiaobai is the complete opposite. His taste is extremely bland, like chewing wax to me. I once tried to get him to taste a piece of buckwheat bowl cake that wasn't even that spicy, probably because I was the one feeding him. He obediently ate it. Almost the moment it entered his mouth, tears welled up in his eyes from the spiciness, and even 3 glasses of water weren't enough to soothe it. It was only then that I found out he has a stomach condition and can't eat spicy food. He held me in his arms, quietly suffering for a long time. Very well behaved. Teacher Hua, you also like spicy food? Yuze noticed me picking up the dish and said with a smile, I really enjoy spicy food too. We actually have quite a bit in common. The good impression I had just formed of his cooking instantly vanished. There are so many people who can handle spicy food. His attempt at conversation was truly awkward. It's just a collaboration, a bit of CP promotion. It's not something I can't accept. Besides, I didn't become an actress for nothing. I immediately looked at him with a hint of surprise. Is that so? Then it seems we must find an opportunity to have hot pot together. On the surface, I still wore a relaxed and cheerful smile. Even I couldn't tell it was fake. Oh, the ship I'm shipping is real. It's a bit sweet. I feel like Huaka really wants to have a meal with Yuze. That's why she said that. It must be a mutual attraction. Holy shit, what is he doing? Shut up, damn it. Is Xiaobai out of his mind? Does the award-winning actor Xia also eat spicy food? Yuze asked, with a hint of trying to get closer, but I instinctively looked at him. He slowly placed a shrimp into his mouth and swallowed it, showing no change in expression. There was a pile of shrimp shells on his plate, had he been eating spicy crayfish? He seemed to be moving mechanically, numbly placing the peeled shrimp into his mouth. You're insane, I suddenly snapped back to reality, snatching the shrimp he was peeling from his hand, taking off my gloves, and pinching his cheeks. Spit it out. My tone was quite sharp, and perhaps he was startled by my harshness. As the corners of his eyes even reddened slightly, he obediently opened his mouth and spat out the shrimp he hadn't even chewed. Everyone was puzzled, looking at us with some confusion. Only then did I realize my own outburst. I adjusted my demeanor and explained to them, he can't eat spicy food, and he has a stomach condition. With that, I had already poured a glass of water and pushed it in front of Xiaobai. He obediently drank it. I think I've figured something out. It doesn't seem entirely unacceptable, even if it's true. We've already broken up. Let my sister live her best life. Okay, yeah, anyone with eyes can see Xiaobai is doing it on purpose, right? Xiaoku is just afraid someone might get killed. Woo-woo. I was really scared to death. Thank you, beautiful Hua, for stopping my brother. After that, Xiaobai behaved himself and didn't cause any more trouble. The others clearly noticed something too, but I had nothing to explain. Who hasn't had a relationship in college while smoking on the balcony? Xiaobai also came over, saying he needed some fresh air. He gave a light cough, and I couldn't help but frown. I still stubbed out the cigarette I had just started smoking, only to notice a faint, almost imperceptible curve at the corner of his lips. Was he just smiling? Huaku actually put out his cigarette. Can these two just get married on the spot? Welcome to the actor scheming. Xiaobai doesn't seem quite right. His face is pale, and there's even cold sweat beading at his temples. TSK. Serves him right for recklessly eating spicy food and suffering like this. He deserves it. Where's the medicine? This is so annoying. I'm just worried he'll affect everyone else's mood, that's all. I didn't bring it, he uttered weakly, as if those two words had drained all his strength. This person never knew how to take care of himself properly, and now he's feeling the stomach pain. I'll have the production team take you to the hospital. No need. I didn't pay him any more attention. It hurts. He couldn't hold back the cramping pain in his stomach. Drink some hot water. I restrained the urge to hold him and said calmly, my hands are cold. Drink hot water. Xiaobai pursed his lips and fell silent, clearly in a bad mood. Drink hot water. Look at how wronged he is. But I really want to laugh. What should I do? Ha ha ha. Huamelu, just humor him a little. It feels like my sister doesn't have any intention of getting back together. But she put out her cigarette for him. As everyone knows, my smoking habit is quite heavy, and I've been scolded by many people for it for a long time. Now that the cigarette is gone, I feel a bit restless and really want to have a smoke back. Then, because of Xiaobai, I stubbornly quit smoking. During that time, whenever I felt the urge to smoke, I would kiss him instead, because compared to cigarettes, he seemed to be even more addictive. Even though he kept a straight face, he still sat next to me on the plane. I can suffer, but I can't be without my wife. Upstairs, are you the tapeworm in Sia's stomach? To be honest, Xiaobai really does have a lot of issues. Carsick, airsick, stomach problems, and afraid of ghosts. He wants to get back together, but I don't. If we did, I'm sure someone would say I dumped him when he wasn't famous and only got back with him now that he's at the top of the pyramid. Teacher Hua, I'm feeling a bit dizzy, Xiaobai said weakly, turning to look at me with eyes full of exhaustion and discomfort. Oh, I forced myself not to look into his eyes, replying perfunctorily, wifey, dizzy, need to lean, upstairs. You really get Xiaobai. I didn't mean to laugh, but Huaku's eye roll really got me. Teacher Hua, can I lean on your shoulder and sleep for a while? I'm very quiet, and I don't drool. It was clear that even speaking a single sentence was difficult for him now. His voice much softer than usual. Xiaobai just looked at me like that, stubborn and persistent, just like he was back in our university days. Tisk, feeling annoyed, I couldn't help but click my tongue, glaring at him with irritation. Just hearing that tisk sound, I knew she was about to give in. Full marks for taking advantage of the situation to play the victim card. Xia fans, don't even mention it. My wife is just too kind-hearted. I glanced at him but said nothing, closing my eyes to rest. He understood my silent agreement and leaned gently against my shoulder. Aw, I'm dead. Xia fans are so hypocritical. It's not okay when it's my sister, but it's fine when it's Huaku, right? So disgusting. Did the person upstairs forget to brush their teeth before coming out to spew nonsense? How can those who cling to Brother Chan and those Brother Chan clings to be the same? Stop making excuses. You bunch of hypocrites, exactly, my heart aches for my dear Chin Chin. 666, Lu Yuqin is cheap and versatile, yet she still thinks she's some high-end product. Xiaoyi Bai was indeed in great discomfort, his slightly furrowed brows revealing his pain, his eyelashes trembling, and his lips pale. It's different from before. In the past, whenever he got hurt, felt unwell, or fell sick, he never told me or showed it. He was so sensible, it was heartbreaking. I told him countless times not to hold it in, to speak up, but he never seemed to learn, always the same, only. When I got angry would he timidly come over and say he wouldn't do it again, though he never actually changed. So this time, when he showed vulnerability and told me he was feeling unwell, I actually felt a flicker of relief in my heart. Upon arriving in Country F, we soon received our first mission: check in at local famous landmarks or popular tourist attractions, or Buddha Wildlife Park. It would be such a waste to come all the way to Country F and not visit the Alpha Horror Theme Haunted House. The production team announced that they would not provide transportation or cover entertainment expenses, so we had to figure it out on our own. Please pair up in groups of 2 and begin your journey. Pair up in groups of 2. I have to say, this director really knows how to generate buzz, given the tangled mess between Xiaoyi Bai and me right now. Who knows what the online chatter is like. Xiaoyi Bai had been standing by my side the whole time. Yu Zhe and Lu Yuqin instinctively glanced over. But upon seeing Xiaoyi Bai and me standing together, they didn't come to invite us to join their group. It seemed like everyone had already accepted the relationship between Xiaoyi Bai and me, and no one wanted to disturb us. I was originally thinking of going to the nearest one, but when I glanced at Xiaoyi Bai, I noticed he was staring at the horror park on the map, as if pondering something. But I didn't think he would want to go there, because he's afraid of ghosts. I felt that being autocratic wasn't ideal. It's better to be democratic, especially since we were live streaming, so I made a point of asking Xiaoyi Bai for his opinion. What do you think, Xiaoyi? I want to go here. Is that okay? If it's not, that's fine too. I'll listen to whatever you say. I could only feel 3 black lines of sweat sliding down my forehead. When you put it like that, how could I possibly say no? Ding dong. Your white tea is now online. Please check your inbox. Xiaoyi Bai really knows how to play the green tea card. It's okay if you can't. I'm done. This Xie guy is really cunning. My wife can't even refuse. Speechless. Just likes to make things difficult for people. Right. I glanced at him. Alright, then let's go to the horror theme park. He had planned to take a taxi, but he didn't seem too keen on the idea. I get carsick. It's awful. Can we take the bus instead? Of course. If that's not okay, it's fine. Damn it. Don't stop me. Let me take care of this little green tea. Bitch, if that's not okay, it's fine. As long as you're thick-skinned enough, you can cozy up to your wife. We still took the bus, nodding good morning to the driver before standing and waiting for our stop. It was a bit crowded, a little tight, and Xiaoyi Bai stumbled slightly, pressing against me, staying that way until we got off. I noticed the tips of his ears stayed red all the way until we got off. Quite adorable. Got it. Got it +1. When we arrived at the haunted house, we saw a crowd gathered around a nearby table, apparently for some kind of event. Couples who participate and take photos for promotion can get a 90% discount plus a movie ticket. The large French text on the billboard looked particularly eye-catching. Teacher Hua, he moved. He's about to start again. Can Huaku withstand Bai Cha's attack this time? Let's continue watching. Get lost. Ahahaha. Directly interrupting Cha Cha Bai's casting. But, we don't have enough money. Xiaoyi Bai looked innocent, as if thoughtfully reminding us of our current financial situation. I glanced at the single bill the program team had stuffed into my hand, then at the price for 2 people at the haunted house, and we still had to take a ride back later. He succeeded. I compromised again. But, if we don't hold hands, won't they suspect we're not a couple? He gestured for me to look at the couples who had signed up. Every one of them was holding hands, linking arms, or stealing kisses now and then. Xia Ibai got his wish, placing his hand in mine. It was cold, so cold it felt piercing to the bone. I couldn't help but hold it tighter, wanting to warm it up a little. Her heart softened. My wife just feels sorry for the money. The haunted house is the most expensive of all the attractions. Damn it. And honestly, I've been there before. It's really boring. Are we here to see the haunted house? We're here to watch a certain couple being all lovey-dovey. Upstairs. Watch your wording. It's about watching a green tea's journey to win back his wife. He held my hand tightly, a faint smile playing at the corner of his lips, following me quietly. But when the surroundings plunged into complete darkness, he couldn't help but lean closer to me, his hand trembling slightly. "Don't be afraid, I'm here." I comfortingly rubbed the back of his hand with my thumb. I thought Xiaobai was waiting for Huaku to get scared and then hide in his arms, but I was wrong. 666, he scared and still came. To the haunted house, Xiaobai, for my wife. What's a little sacrifice, honey? Sob, scared, need hug. Shut up, you upstairs. Actually, the haunted house in Country F isn't as scary as imagined, it's even a bit boring, but Xiaobai is terrified, slowing down my progress. Suddenly, a bloody head flew out of the darkness, followed by an NPC extending their witch-like claws and letting out a wah. The next second, I was pulled into a tight embrace. Xiaobai trembled, his warm breath brushing against my neck, tickling slightly. His breathing was heavy, and his heart was racing wildly. I stiffened for a moment, thinking that it was too dark for the cameras to capture anything, and gently patted his back. "It's okay, don't be afraid." Does she think we can't see her? But what we see is green space, that still can't stop them from bubbling with pink hearts. Ah, Xiaobai doesn't seem to be faking it. What are you talking about? He was never faking it in the first place. We hugged for about 3 minutes before continuing on our way. Finally, we made it through and got the movie tickets. He looked at the movie tickets over and over, then carefully placed both tickets into his shirt pocket with great seriousness, before reverting to his sickly, listless demeanor. "Professor Hua, I feel so unwell, I don't want to take the car so soon. How about we take a walk instead? If that's not okay." "It's fine, I've heard this line 3 times already. It's practically a nightmare. If it's not okay, that's alright. What if I'm really into it?" The super topic has already been created. Investing won't disappoint. What? Are you still frowning over the CP you're into not giving out any sweet moments? Then come and join the Baiki Baiku CP. The real deal chases after you to feed you sugar. Tickets at a 10% discount. There really were quite a few left. Xiaobai happily followed behind me, holding some snacks in his hands. For some reason, seeing him happy, I couldn't help but feel a flicker of joy in my heart. When I realized the corners of my mouth were curving upward, I knew I was about to fall for it again. "I want this one too." "No potatoes, they cause bloating." "Have you forgotten about your stomach issues?" I said coldly. "All right then," he replied, unable to hide the disappointment in his tone. I had scolded him, yet he seemed oddly pleased, and his spirits noticeably lifted afterward. This dog just wanted to see if his wife would care about him. Oh, another daily trick to cling to the wife. Learned something new. Oh, I thought Xiaobai would behave himself, but not long after arriving at the villa, he started causing trouble. "Teacher Hua, I was really scared today. Thank you for the hug." With an innocent and harmless expression, he dropped a bombshell. I could feel the curious and shocked gazes of the other 4 people sweeping over me. Haha, you're welcome. It feels like Huaku's fist is about to land on Xiaobai's face any second now. "Xiaobai, that's right. My wife hugged me today. Did any of you get that?" "No, you didn't." Xiaobai might as well have written the word showing off all over his face. I didn't pay him much attention for the next 2 days, but he insisted on sticking close to me. "Hilarious, you played yourself. Now you've lost your wife. Look how round my little milk white is. That nickname is so gross." He caught a fish and rushed over to me excitedly. "Teacher Hua, I caught a fish." I responded indifferently. "Teacher Hua, look at the flower basket I made." Despite my repeated coldness, his enthusiasm never waned, and in the end, my heart softened. Couldn't this woman hold out for a couple more days? I knew it. Who could resist a well-behaved, handsome, six-pack abs Xiaobai standing at 188 cm? When buying ice cream, he quickly paid before I could. Seeing me about to pay, he said, "I've already paid. How about you remove me from the blacklist, Teacher Hua, and transfer the money to me on WeChat? Can Xiaobai start a class? I'll kneel and listen." +1. The goddess is really hard to chase. He watched gleefully as I removed him from the blacklist, his note still reading, "Good little bye." I expressionlessly changed the note to his name, unaware that the camera was right behind my shoulder, capturing the entire process. So the former movie Emperor Xia actually used to call Huaku sister. So sweet, so sweet. As expected, real couples are the best to ship. Calling her sister really hits me right in the feels. What a century-defying good boy. Look at how foolish Xiaobai is acting. I'm almost embarrassed to admit I've been a fan of his for 4 years. Seems to me you're quite proud of it, and even a little boastful. Under Xiaobai's constant harassment, our relationship grew closer and closer. Gradually, I started agreeing to take his calls in the evenings, began reporting my daily schedule to him. All that was missing was the right moment to officially get back together. One day, my agent called me early in the morning to say I was trending on Weibo. I thought it was because the promotional photos for my new drama were so stunning that they'd sparked a new fashion trend, but when I opened Weibo, I realized it was all thanks to Xiaoyibai's handiwork. The comment pinned at the very top: Xiaoyibai, wow, my wife is so beautiful, I love my wife the most, this clueless guy soon. His alt account was exposed. At Thirsty Good Little Bai, one of the top fans in the Xiaoyibai and I ship super topic, turned out to be Xiaoyibai himself. Ahahaha, a major on-site unmasking of actor Xia. He must have forgotten to switch accounts. Hahaha, could it be that he did it on purpose? Is a fan account really that easy to find? Think about it, really think about it. The top one trending topic: Huaku and Xiaoyibai suspected to be married. Man publicly calls her wife is giving me a headache. And right then, Xiaoyibai also called me. He immediately went into apology mode, with a sincere attitude and thorough reflection, as if he had prepared his lines in advance. I'm sorry, sister, it's all my fault, making you so upset. As he spoke, he even choked up, as if he felt so guilty about his mistake that he wanted to cry. It's okay, just be more careful in the future. I rubbed my temples, unable to bring myself to blame him. After all, why not get married right on the spot? What if they're already married? Dog emoji, dog emoji, dog emoji. What kind of adorable creature is Xiaoyibai? How can someone so manly be this cute? Hesitantly asking, does anyone still remember he used to be the aloof male god? I was thinking about just being upfront with Xiaoyibai and making it official, but my manager told me to wait a bit longer, saying it could help boost the hype for the new drama. That's right. This overachiever just finished filming one drama and immediately picked up another. So I'm running around all over the place every day, and there's still another drama that needs promoting. Coincidentally, the character archetype in the new drama happens to be a gentle, clear-headed older sister paired with a scheming younger guy, except I'm not the female lead, I'm the villainous second female lead. When I arrived on set and saw Xiaoyibai dressed in a black robe with smoky eye makeup, giving me a sweet smile, I was stunned. This guy came here to play the villain. Isn't his schedule usually packed? Sis, you're here. He paid no heed to anyone else and came straight toward me. Ah. The Baiki CP is real. A young girl among the extras couldn't contain her excitement and shouted, causing everyone to start whispering. Slowly, almost everyone's faces broke into strange smiles. At that moment, the director, not far away, scratched his non-existent hair and also came over. Xiaoku, Bai, you two practice first. We'll be shooting scene 17. Take 2 in a bit. Director Zhang chuckled cheerfully, looking at me with a hint of guilt before scurrying off to find the camera. I had some recollection of this scene. It was where the female antagonist, Dongfeng Guyue, rescues the male antagonist, Qiyun, who's been drugged with that embarrassing aphrodisiac, from a cliff. Then, Dongfeng Guyue, captivated by Qiyun's looks, takes him back to her palace for some intimate activities. Take 2 was precisely that intimate part. I glanced at director Zhang, who was beaming with delight. What's with this old man picking up the habit of shipping couples? By the time I changed my clothes and finished my makeup, the previous scene had just wrapped up, and it was my turn with Xiaoyibai. Xiaoyibai pressed me down onto the bed, his eyes red at the corners, his movements rough, exactly the state of someone under the influence of drugs. He bit and licked at my neck, but for some reason, his face suddenly flushed as red as an apple, his eyes tinged with shyness. Xiaoyibai, what are you doing? Why are you shy? I want a fierce beast. A beast who's been drugged. I want rage. I want an enraged beast, not a rabbit. And you, Huaku, make your eyes more seductive. Damn it, an award-winning actor who can't even kiss properly. Huaku, didn't you teach him anything when you were his ex-girlfriend? Both of you, go practice kissing right now. Huaku and I timidly took the scolding. It was indeed our fault, and so, I was pinned against the doorframe of the dressing room by Xiaoyibai, our lips pressed together. He still didn't have that fierce feeling, but his lips were soft and comfortable. Director Zhang wasn't wrong, he really didn't know how to kiss, and his sucking left my lips slightly swollen. This couldn't go on. If he couldn't find the right state, we'd just keep dragging it out, slowing down the entire production. As he kissed me with a sticky intensity, I was thinking about how to make him angry. Suddenly, an idea popped into my head. I gently pushed him away, looked into his eyes, and said seriously, Actually, after breaking up with you, I dated someone else. What? He propped his hand beside my head, his eyes widening slightly. Well, I started dating about half a month after we broke up. He no longer gave me a chance to speak, kissing me fiercely with a ruthless intensity, as if trying to steal every last bit of oxygen from my mouth. It wasn't until Director Zhang called from outside that he bit my lip and finally let me go. How's the state coming along? Ready, I replied, but Xiaobai's face remained dark, clearly unwilling to engage with me under the camera. His eyes were red, filled with malice and ruthlessness. He kissed me roughly, his gaze fixed on me like a venomous snake, as if trying to see right through me. Cut, that was perfect. After it was over, Xiaobai still wore a dark expression, as if someone owed him $8 million. He didn't speak to me, just followed me around, staring at me with a resentful look. When he followed me all the way to the door of my dressing room, I finally couldn't take it anymore. Alright, stop following me. I was just teasing you. You're the only one I've ever been with. Instantly, his sadness turned to joy. Not only did he refuse to leave, but he shamelessly entered my lounge, took my hand, and resumed his well-behaved demeanor. You're the best, sis. When the official cast list was announced, the CP fans were over the moon. Ah, the brother and sister are a CP pairing. Who understands? After reading the original work, my face is already flushed, panting. It's Sugar, hee, Sugar. Isn't it time to give my brother a proper title? Huaku, don't make me kneel and beg you. There's a bit of backbone upstairs, but not much. A crew member who specializes in shooting behind-the-scenes footage posted a video of Director Zhang scolding me and Xiaobai, along with some clips of the male and female leads interacting, online through a marketing account, serving as a kind of warm-up. I laughed so hard I lost my head. Xiaobai, I'm just a little white rabbit. And Teacher Hua loves little white rabbits. Huaku, why don't you try flirting with your ex-boyfriend? Since you all seem so happy, I'll let you in on a little secret. In the original work, Dongfang Guyue and Qi Yun's story ends in tragedy. Evil grin. I noticed that comment about either doing it or on the way to doing it, and silently gave it a like with my alt account. When I saw the script, I was completely stunned, praying that the actor playing Qi Yun would at least be someone I knew. And then, it really was someone I knew all too well. Sis, my hands are cold. I glanced at him and expressionlessly took his hand. Ah, they're holding hands. Not far away, a group of young extras in their 20s were gathered, watching Xiaobai and me with excitement. I looked at them, and one of them was pushed forward, blushing as she handed me a poster. Teacher Hua, could you give me an autograph? I'm your fan, my fan, coming to ask for an autograph with a photo of me and Xiaobai. Must be a CP fan. I signed for her, and sure enough, she immediately turned to look at Xiaobai. Same old routine, same old story. Teacher Xia, I'm your fan, could you give me an autograph? Xiaobai wrote his name beneath my signature. The little girl bowed at a 90-degree angle, excitedly said thank you, and ran back to share her excitement with her friends. Teacher Hua, there's a scene here I don't quite understand. Could we rehearse it together? I can only say it was all just an excuse for him to kiss me. After countless times of him deliberately flubbing his lines and countless repeated kisses and embraces, I was finally liberated. Because filming had wrapped at last. At the wrap party, Xiaobai sat quietly the whole time, occasionally putting food on my plate. Xiao Ku, when are you two going to make it official? Director Zhang asked directly in front of everyone. Putting it out in the open. Xiaobai immediately perked up, listening intently, and even more eagerly added more food to my plate. We're not together, I said, and Xiaobai immediately wilted, looking at me with a pitiful expression, but he still kept putting food on my plate. Ibai is such a great catch, you mustn't let him slip away. I heard Xiaobai softly chime in. Exactly, how could he be so adorable? I understand. I went to the restroom and came back, only to find Xiaobai acting a bit off. His cheeks were flushed, his gaze was hazy, and when he saw me, his eyes seemed to sparkle like they were filled with stars. Sis, I glanced at the cup in front of him. It was mine, and it contained baijiu. Judging by the amount, he must have only taken a tiny sip, but he never drinks. That small sip was enough to get to him. I apologized to the others and took him away. They all wore expressions that said, I understand, watching us as we left. Aren't you worried about your stomach condition at all? In the taxi, he wrapped his arms around my waist, resting his head on my shoulder and calling me sister. He was acting just like he'd downed 2 bottles of baijiu. so drunk he wouldn't even recognize his own mother. Fortunately, he walked quite steadily, not requiring much effort from me to support him. He obediently followed right behind me. I watched as he clumsily took off his shoes, then slipped shoe covers over his socks before stepping into my home. I sighed, had him sit on the sofa, brewed some hangover soup for him, and found a box of stomach medicine for him to take. No, he was very resistant to taking the medicine, frowning and unwilling to touch it. Be good, or I'll kick you out. I was already exhausted from the day, my tone tinged with weariness and irritation. He grew unusually quiet and obediently took his medicine, remembering how insecure he used to feel sleeping alone, always pitifully clinging to his pillow and sticking to me. I dismissed the idea of making him sleep on the couch and led him to the bedroom instead. Sis, I really like you, sis, he wrapped his arms around my waist, kissed my cheek, and murmured half drowsily, half seriously. His words were like a stone cast into the ocean, sending ripples through my heart. Soon, his breathing steadied into a gentle rhythm. He slept facing me, his forehead pressed against my shoulder, unconsciously nuzzling it a couple of times. The next day, Xiaobai woke up with what seemed like a headache, rubbing his temples. When he spotted me busy at the desk, his eyes lit up with delight. Then he lifted the blanket to check himself, and upon seeing he was still fully dressed, a flicker of disappointment crossed his eyes. Was his charm not enough? Awake? Yes. Good morning, Teacher Hua. Good morning. Go wash up, Teacher Hua. Last night, did we sleep together? After much thought, I decided to have a thorough talk with Xiaobai to clarify our relationship. Since we've already shared a bed, there has to be an explanation. So, what are we now? What do you think? We're a couple, correct? Your reward is a bowl of porridge on the dining table in the living room. If you wait any longer, it won't be warm enough, I said without looking up from the script. Overjoyed, he quickly planted a mwah on my cheek with his unbrushed mouth, then happily went to wash up. I wiped the spot he kissed, feeling a bit disgusted, yet an uncontrollable sweetness welled up in my heart. He really is so adorable. I went out and saw Xiaobai holding a toothbrush in one hand and typing on his phone with the other. Brush properly. He put down his phone, obedient as could be, but he wouldn't listen to me, refusing to hide our relationship. He said it like this: I went to so much trouble laying all that groundwork on the variety show. I don't want to be left without a name or a title. If you hadn't refused to go public back in college, making sure no one knew, I wouldn't have had to put in so much effort now. I thought about it, and it seemed to make sense. Back in college, I didn't want to be bombarded with questions from others. It felt like a hassle. Besides, I believed that dating was a private matter between two people, and there was no need for everyone else to know. But now, it seems Xiaobai didn't see it that way. A few weeks later, the director released the promotional photos, and Xiaobai and I took advantage of the buzz to make our relationship official at Huakukiki. A reunion after going around in circles is the beginning of romance at Xiaobai, at Xiaobai. I will run towards you without hesitation. This time, every single time. At Huakukiki, the internet exploded instantly. Even I, the person at the center of it all, couldn't squeeze my way into the conversation. Woo-woo, my baby finally has a proper status. I always knew they were the real deal. Woo-woo, reunion marks the beginning. Friends also sent their blessings one after another. Even Yuze, who wasn't that close, came to ride the wave of popularity. We're basically saying it straight up. New Year's, the CPI ship is real, and the actual people are forcing us to ship it. Who gets it? I've already thought of their kids' names. I'm so obsessed. Huaku and Xiaobai's child, no matter who they look like, they'd be straight up legendary. Actually, I always thought netizens were just lightly shipping me and Xiaobai because of our CP chemistry. If we really got together, there'd probably be a lot of backlash. After all, I'm almost 30, and while my popularity isn't low, it's not what it used to be. Meanwhile, Xiaobai is at the peak of his career. I never expected Xiaobai's fans to take it so well, while some of my own solo fans still had a few small complaints, making some sarcastic remarks, though they didn't strongly oppose it. Sis, why are you frowning? You're not regretting it, are you? He raised his voice, looking both angry and a little hurt. Even if you regret it, it's too late. It's already been announced. Watching him sulk alone, I noticed how Xiaobai, usually so quiet, was becoming more and more lively and cheerful, reminding me of how he used to be back in college. It turns out, happiness really can make you grow younger as you live. We accepted a joint interview, May I ask if the two of you have ever thought about getting married? A relationship that isn't aimed at marriage is just fooling around, unless both parties are just playing games. Siaibai replied, what changes have you noticed in your life before and after falling in love? I don't have to cook for myself anymore, nor do I have to undress myself, I replied. My hand was getting a bit sore, so I switched the microphone to my other hand and let go of Siaibai's hand. His eyes darkened slightly, but thankfully, he didn't do something like switching positions on the spot. Which of you do you hope the child will take after? When the reporter asked this, I realized I had overlooked a very important issue. I want to be child-free. But I never told Siaibai, so I fell silent and turned to look at Siaibai. There was no particular emotion in his eyes. He turned to me, signaling for me to speak, as if whatever I said would be fine. He could accept anything. We don't plan to have children, I said with a slight smile. Yeah, childbirth is too painful. I don't want teacher Hua to suffer like that. Siaibai chimed in. The reporter continued to ask, so, do you two think that after breaking up and getting back together, the relationship will feel different? Yes, Siaibai answered decisively. It will strengthen my determination to be with her. The reporter smiled. Next is the fan candé session. The first one was a female student. Teacher Hua, you and actor Xia are both top-tier celebrities, and you're both very busy, especially actor Xia, so how do you two usually maintain your relationship? Doesn't it ever fade? I thought for a moment. No, it doesn't. Ibai is indeed very busy, but there's no such thing as being too busy to send a message. It only takes 3 seconds for him to send one, even if it's just a quick I'm busy. Besides, he's quite clingy. He basically reports everything, and whenever he has free time, he calls or video chats, so our feelings don't fade. The second person was also a girl. What would you do if the other person, my other half, would never cheat on me? If you say that, he'll feel wronged when he goes back, I said. In short, this interview was just to stir up some buzz, dull and uninteresting, but it didn't really affect us. It was just that the topic of being dinks got discussed by some netizens. Their main point was that both Siaibai and I are only children, and if we don't have kids, both families will have no descendants. But I don't think our family matters need their opinions. Sis, you're 29 this year, right? One evening, he held me by the waist and asked, what's up? I didn't think he was concerned about age. A friend of mine got married as soon as they reached the legal age. He looked at me with a hint, or rather, it could be called a clear signal. Okay, sure, once I'm not so busy. I agreed right away. But Siaibai was much more excited than I was, holding me close and clinging for a long time, his breathing growing heavier and heavier. Siaibai, get off me. I have to work tomorrow. I already asked for leave for you, sis. The next second, my lips were sealed by something soft. On my birthday, he proposed to me. Number 99 roses, but 99 paper flowers folded from red 100 yuan bills, kneeling on one knee, utterly tacky. Huaku, will you become my Mrs. Xia? I do. I thought I would be as calm when he proposed as I was when I agreed to date him, but I have to admit, looking into his devout and hopeful eyes, my heart couldn't help but flutter a little. The wedding was held on an island, nothing too extravagant. The wedding dress was a simple, elegant mermaid style, hugging the hips. The MC was one of Siaibai's good friends, the popular rapper Jingsheng. After chatting with him, I was a little worried he might start rapping in the middle of the ceremony. Don't worry, sis, I'm totally reliable. Just as he said, it was indeed reliable, with clear and precise pronunciation, as if he were a professional MC with over a decade of experience. Ms. Huaku, do you take Mr. Siaibai to be your husband, to spend the rest of your life with him, and never abandon him? I do. Mr. Siaibai, do you take Ms. Huaku to be your wife, to cherish, love, and protect her in the days to come? I do. Now, the groom, you may kiss your bride. Siaibai was very nervous and excited. Usually, he is quite eager to kiss, but now he didn't even know where to put his hands. I took his hand and placed it on my waist, then kissed him. This wedding was attended by some close friends and family, but it wasn't publicly announced. At Huakukuku, he ruined my plan to die alone. Picture, at Siaibai, she's my wife, picture only after posting the little red marriage certificate on Weibo did Siaibai feel satisfied. Sis, you're going to be with me for the rest of your life. Yes, I'll be with you. Siaibai's extra story. In my sophomore year, I got dumped. My sister's breakup reason was absurd, saying she's blood type B. I'm also blood type B. and if we were together, we'd give birth to a to-be that day. No matter how I tried to hold her back, using every trick in the book to beg her humbly, she never looked back. She was probably just tired of playing. After all, we got together because of my despicable tactics, capturing her through a game. Now, she doesn't want to play anymore, but I can't accept it. I refuse to believe that Huku, who loved me so much, just stopped loving me. I have always been quietly watching over her. When my sister entered the entertainment industry, I became her #1 fan, voting for her and tracking her data every day, watching her grow more and more popular, more and more beautiful. Not being professionally trained, I gave up the idea of accompanying her, but it seemed fate wanted us to stay together. One day, while sitting in a cafe checking in on her fan page, a talent scout struck up a conversation with me. Without the slightest hesitation, I agreed and joined the Shally group. Becoming an artist, I thank the heavens for blessing me with such a beautiful face, allowing me to attract her, to captivate the audience and fans. I had thought that after entering the entertainment industry, I would be able to see Teacher Hua often, even if just from a distance, but things didn't go as I wished. When I was still struggling to make a name for myself, my status wasn't high enough, and I couldn't land roles in the same projects as Teacher Hua. I thought to myself, I must climb higher, earn more money, so that I would be worthy of standing by her side and have the means to win her back. By the time I won the 9 gold awards and was crowned Best Actor, she had already become my senior in the industry and was in a semi-retired state. I then focused entirely on my career, believing that one day, she would be captivated by the version of me on the silver screen. A huge surprise for me was her gradual return to the spotlight. In an interview, the 28-year-old playfully responded, "Because I'm still young, and I feel I should earn a bit more money." Her comeback was tough, and I knew she needed the buzz. Alright, I admit I still harbored some selfish hope of getting back together. During an interview, I deliberately mentioned my college romance, but the groundwork I laid for my wife was actually hijacked by an overconfident young starlet seeking attention. I was busy boosting my wife's data and clarified things a bit late, but it's alright. I saw my wife, but I had to hold back because I didn't know how she felt about me now, so I naturally went over to say hello. Fortunately, my sister didn't show any obvious rejection toward me. "There's this guy named Jose, I know him. He's acted as a couple with my wife, and I haven't even had the chance to play a couple with her yet." "No way, I have to act as a couple with my wife too." I'm jotting this down in my little notebook. I never expected to discover Jose's ulterior motives on the very first day. Out of nowhere, he awkwardly started chatting, saying he and my sister were destined to meet. It infuriated me beyond words, but to my dismay, my sister actually smiled at him and said she'd love to have a meal with him when she had the time. Actually, I could also eat spicy food with my sister. I was determined to prove myself. I ate a whole lot of crayfish, wanting to show my sister that I could handle it too, even as the spice chaotically assaulted my taste buds, making me wish I could just, but she didn't seem to notice me, and I felt a bit sulky, so I kept peeling the shrimp. Finally, she noticed me, but she was angry and a little nervous. "Spit it out," I heard her say. Her hand was soft as she pinched my cheek, forcing me to open my mouth and spit out the shrimp. She yelled at me. I couldn't help it. My nose tingled slightly, and I almost shed tears, but luckily, I held them back. She poured me a glass of water, and I knew then that she still cared about me. Whenever my sister wasn't paying attention to me, I would read the 100 green tea tactics that Jingsheng had sent me. "Don't worry, Ibai, it's absolutely reliable. The facts prove that this book is truly useful. My sister is becoming more and more caring and indulgent toward me. I can feel that clown Yuza always looking at me and my sister with a green face. I won't admit defeat, secretly cursing him in my heart while provocatively staring at him on the surface, which only makes him angrier. I'm growing bolder, openly holding hands with my sister and flirting with her. I'm afraid of ghosts, but I still insisted on going to the haunted house, because only such genuine fear could make my sister truly feel sorry for me. Sure enough, I successfully tricked my sister into giving me a hug. Her embrace was warm and comfortable, and she gently soothed me, patting my back, making me feel a sense of security I hadn't felt in a long time. Finally, with the guidance of the book recommended by Jingsheng, I successfully announced our relationship and got married with my sister. After getting married, I realized I couldn't be without my sister even more. On our wedding night, I finally asked the question that had been troubling me for years. "Sis, back then, why did you break up with me?" She said that at the time, I was only 19, and she thought I was too young. Being with me was just a game among classmates, So she believed I was only teasing her for fun. She felt I wasn't mature enough, needing her to take care of me, to coax me, to protect me, and she didn't want to wait for me to grow up anymore. Then why is my sister with me now? Because, I love you. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.